One of the most important things we do when we speak publicly is to make eye contact with our audience. It is how we consume the room. It's how we shrink the room. We can't possibly move around the room and make physical contact with everybody in an audience of any real size. So we do that with eye contact. Now, the problem is that most people who speak publicly make one of two errors. They either look at the audience as a formless mass, never really make an individual eye contact with individual members of that audience, but treating it as a whole, and the audience very quickly picks up that the presenter is not actually looking at anybody as an individual, and they start to realize that there is no connection there. The other thing that often happens with presenters is that they end up doing what I call hit and run eye contact. In other words, making very glancing eye contact, hitting on a person and then running to the next person. It's eye contact that's very much all over the place, but never pausing on any individual and really looking into their eyes long enough to make a connection. That's why I emphasize with my students what I call meaningful eye contact. It's very simple. We simply look at a person long enough that they see us looking at them, and they're looking back at us, and we feel that connection with them. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's a very brief moment in time, but what it communicates to that audience member is, I see you and I'm paying attention to you. I see you and I'm paying attention to you. And we move from one audience member to another, to another, to another, and in each case, spending enough time with eye contact that we're delivering at least a phrase and maybe a sentence to that person while making eye contact. We want to make sure that the duration of the eye contact is enough that the person feels a connection. We feel that same connection. And we also want to make sure that the duration of that eye contact isn't so long that it makes it uncomfortable for them or for us. A good barometer is a one-on-one conversation that we have with people who we know. Whether it's one-on-one or us with 2 or 3 other people, we know instinctively how long to look at somebody in terms of eye contact before breaking that eye contact and looking to somebody else or looking momentarily away before reestablishing that eye contact. It's no different with an audience, whether it's 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. We want to make individual eye contact. We want to stay with them long enough to make that connection. We want to move on before things get uncomfortable for either party. And we want to make sure that the eye contact is random, that we're moving around that room in a random fashion rather than a patterned fashion. Again, eye contact is critical to public speaking. Let's always make sure that the eye contact we make when we're speaking, when we're presenting to an audience, is meaningful eye contact.